Si me piden una cocina, digámosle.
When someone orders a kitchen, the first thing I do is go measure the space. And I decide where everything will go. The refrigerator, the stove, the sink. I draw the whole design before I ever touch a piece of wood. When the drawing is finished, that part fulfills me. Carpentry isn't just cutting wood. When you work with wood, especially when you get to the sanding, that's where the detail is. That final touch is what decides whether a piece turns out good or bad. I was born in Chichicastenango, in a small canton called Sacpuluc. I grew up in the countryside, but life brought us to the capital. It felt like falling into the street and starting from zero. Like the song says, I learned to be whatever there was to be. A cook, a construction helper, a carpenter's helper, a loader. In the end, I fell in love with carpentry. I spent 10 years working with the same boss, 10 years learning. When I finally stepped out on my own, I told God, Lord, I don't know which path to take, but if I start a business, I'll put it in your hands. The day I quit, I only had one drill. Now we have everything. A full set of the tools the carpenter really needs.
Yo creo que también fue parte, obra de Dios.
Honestly, it was God's work. Partners Worldwide and AMG appeared when I wasn't even looking. My wife said, look, Partners is helping, and it felt like a real push. With their support, I bought one tool, then another, and little by little, I grew. Partners gave us some capital, but AMG focused on training, and that's what changed everything. The courses opened our minds. They completed the architecture, you could say. I learned that every job has value, and every part of the work has a cost. Before, I never counted sandpaper, rags, electricity, tool wear, or even the space I used. That's why sometimes I earned, and sometimes I earned nothing at all. I was only charging for my labor. I was even afraid to name my price. I'd think, what if they don't give me the job? After a loss during the pandemic, I said, I'm not going through that again. I had taken a big project and they only paid me a third of it. I won't mention numbers, but it was a huge loss right in the middle of the pandemic. With 3 young workers depending on me, I still had to pay them for their month of work. That experience taught me something. Now we work under contracts for big projects because that's the only way to protect the work. For smaller projects, I ask for an advance and give a delivery date. And that's how we've been moving forward. Through the courses, I learned to budget everything properly. And now, all of that goes into the way we work. We've made kitchens, closets, pergolas. Little by little, we've grown. I think the bad experiences we have in life are for our good. God's word says the bad that happens to you today is for your good. And I believe that because sometimes those moments are what push us to change. When someone asks me for a job, I do it as if it were for God. I know I don't exactly have the face of a saint, but I try to leave the work as good as possible. People have liked my work. Everything now is word of mouth. They say, Gaspar does good work. Give him the job. And people trust me. You saw it when you came in. The narrow streets and the bundles of gacha people collect from the dump to resell. It's tough. It affects the environment. There are also moments when violence flares up, when you even feel afraid to go out. Then the storm passes, and life feels calmer again. My goal with the young people I've taught, who are from this very neighborhood, is to help them look to the other side. It's all about perspective. If you say you're in a bad place, it'll feel bad. If you say this place is good, it'll feel good. In 5 years, I want to be in a bigger shop. Maybe my house will be the same. I'm not focused on remodeling. I want to build a business, to have a real solid company, paying taxes, doing everything the right way. Maybe with 5 or 6 workers, not too many. With God's help, I know it's possible.